St0n fires the first pineapple. There is no real separation between the items at the moment.
St0n got the ultimate
that was
damage.
a very weird bounce.
He gets stuck between the socket of the weapon pickup and it bounced St0n a little bit, but not too much. St0n did a lot of damage at first, so Retc0n's armor is almost completely gone, and St0n is guarding that upper light and catching him down at the other one, which is not up just yet. And now he's caught between rock and a hard light, but St0n lets him go.
He had to,
now he seeks pressure on him, and he finds him and pushes him down into the abyss.
Oh no! Now Retc0n will get the heavy for free, potentially. He won't get it for free, but he will get it. But St0n gets the first frag in the weirdest of style.
Yeah, going up that bounce pad, St0n basically tried to sell his opponent a safe situation and then smacked himself in the face with some beautiful lightning gun. And this time he gets the item, and because he delayed the heavy, he will get this one as well because he's still in controls. Retc0n has a good position and uses it to perfection. 2 rockets followed up by a nice railgun. And it's Retc0n getting his first frag on the board in return. Ooh, some tri-bolt, not too much. And now he needs to seek a good position and beat St0n to it especially. And he's got a glimpse of St0n, but St0n lands the first damage still. Oh, the tri-bolt. Oh, 1 HP for St0n! That tri-bolt was almost perfect, but now St0n stands there with 100 HP and 100.
I don't think Retc0n realized just how low St0n was. Like a little fart to the face would have killed St0n right there.
Anything. Throwing a time vial at him, whatever.
Throwing a flashbang at him would have killed him.
Impressive.
Oh, St0n almost falls down to the pit, but St0n gets the frag. He was down to 1 HP and he managed to claw back to get the frag.
And St0n just keeps on hunting Retc0n down. Like we said, St0n is not gonna let that first defeat sit on him. And he's making Retc0n pay for it right now.
Yeah, Retc0n's gonna find his groove. Everybody knows St0n is one of the heaviest hitters. Oh, that was perfect.
Too much knockback from a direct rocket and grenade. That sends you flying, and in Retc0n's case, swimming.
No less. If Retc0n delays the portal entry just a half a second, the rocket and the pineapple just go flying by. Oh, now the LG Retc0n is low. That's a good peeker. St0n has to respect that. And now Retc0n will get a mega, and that's a great basis for stack.
Yeah. St0n gets the heavy though, and finding health bubbles is a lot easier than finding armor on any map. And that makes his second not looking all too bad. Retc0n hammers the first rail into his corpse. And the second one... But he's not railable anymore, just by 1 stack. Good defensive rocket by St0n, and St0n retreats to his side of the map and guarding the heavy area with his life. Retc0n playing for the mega health right now and really tries to find an opening, but St0n's defense seems pretty solid and the heavy armor just comes right in time. And the rocket! Oh, nice shot. A little jiggle push with the shoulder.
So while I wouldn't say St0n is running away with this one, is inflating the score more and more and more, so we're at a 5 frag difference. But, if anyone can do it, it's Retc0n and his pro tip today. Did some great comebacks, including one against St0n. I have no idea why he didn't go for the Eisen as he did last time. But we are hoping to see some Strog and Peeker magic. St0n missing that rail. That will be a huge opening for Retc0n to grab a mega, maybe go up the jump pad, grab the light armor, and Tried to set up himself to be in control for a while.
Yeah, despite St0n letting have Retc0n some items, it's not really doing anything for Retc0n because St0n has a stronghold over on his side of the map and Retc0n just can't seem to breach it. Retc0n is just cycling the items on his side, but the lead does not shrink at all because Retc0n can't touch St0n. And this is just playing in St0n's card as the time ticks away.
Whoa, that startled me, and I'm sure that startled St0n as well. That was an interesting peeker from Retc0n that certainly did its job, and now St0n is got his back against the wall. He's found a way to defend his position and to get that heavy. Oh, that could have been much more dangerous if St0n had his trusty rockets.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that Retc0n has issues reading St0n's stack because he had him low quite a few times, but he was not committing to it or using it as an advantage. He was falling back to his side of the map and giving St0n the ability to stack back up, but this time he has to chase him down. And he finds him at the murder hole, and this time the murder hole spells death for the Russian, and the Russian gets hit by a rail right off spawn. Good stuff from Retc0n.
Yeah, and this is what Retc0n is good at, just choking players away at spawn. Oh no! St0n just falling out of the map and gets railed off spawn.
Yeah, he tried to hit the Pika with the rocket, but hit the wall, and that combined with the Pika damage just catapulted him out, and there is the comeback we were all waiting for.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's a 2-frag game. 3 minutes, it's more than possible. But this is St0n we're talking about, one of the best players in the game right now.
Pushing that with the railgun might not be the best idea you have in your life, and he gets punished hard for it. Now St0n really has to get a footing back if he wants to win this, because the momentum is still on Retc0n's side. He's hitting shot after shot.
Yeah, and he's edging St0n out of the mega all the time. It's actually quite interesting. Item pickups are mirrored at the moment. 13 heavies and 2 megas for St0n, and 13 megas and 2 heavies for Retc0n. They might trade the opposite this time.
And maybe this is what Retc0n needed, to just swap sides of the map.
Yeah, well, keeping the armor away from the big boys is important.
We'll see. He has still time. There's 1 minute 40 seconds for 2 frags. It's doable. And with St0n not having all the armor in the world, he's a lot easier to kill. Remember, he's a big boy.
Yeah, and that's certainly the way to do it. That was a great peeker.
Yeah, and a great pineapple as well. And now St0n is taking position on the heavy again. And Retc0n bounces him off. Retc0n doesn't see it though. He just realizes it now. And now he needs to hunt him down. He has the better stack, but St0n gets the mega for now. Just gets out of the reach of Retc0n again. And slowly but surely the time starts dwindling, and Retc0n really has to start taking more risks if he wants to pull this back. There's not much room to play anymore.
Oh, St0n, the one taking chances. One of those rockets travels through the grates.
That was fortunate for St0n that the rocket didn't connect with the wooden planks, and it most likely sealed the deal. Because St0n just can do defensive damage now, and he does it masterfully.
Yeah, St0n doesn't have to do much. He's protecting the railgun. Oh, and Retc0n falls right into his trap, but he had no choice.
Maybe Retc0n gets the last redemption frag. Oh, it doesn't look like it right now. St0n has the shotgun out and goes for a little duck hunting. And well, he can celebrate this map's victory with said duck, basically.
You win.
Well played from St0n.
Yeah, that was insane. Stone putting up a clinic here, and this was one of the uglier maps. And I just love the mirrored pickets. Okay, 15 heavies for Stone, 50 maggots for Retcon. Just shows that control was shared pretty much throughout the whole map, and Stone was the one who ended up finding the frags. It wasn't as lopsided as the score might suggest.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it came at the end when Retcon was forced to take unfavorable fights because he wasted too much time before. But on the other hand, he had so much respect of Stone's kill that he never really tried to do anything when he had more time, and that, yeah, that resulted in him having to take the bad stuff at the end.
Alright, you guys can take it from here.
Yeah, we will. So,
Perfect.
we're tight right now in map score. And yeah, I do think it was just a steep hill to climb anyway for Retcon, playing against the meta pick on Deep Embrace. But yeah, he showed promise. But on the other hand, I think this one isn't Retcon's favorite map.
Yeah, I think it's Stone's most favorite map. And maybe, just maybe, the downtime wasn't the best thing that happened to Retcon because he cooled down. And he just needed that one map at the start to heat up again. We'll see how this turns out. Galena and Ranger both are very great picks for this map. And allow for huge variants of playstyle. And also fights taken. And Stone starts rather, well, conservative with taking away Rocket's lightning gun at first, but then using the orb to secure his item. I'm not understanding. And now he uses his better arsenal and hammers Retcon with the rockets, but the rail misses. This would have been the first frag for the Russian, but he has the better place to stack up, and now he's denying the Galena the vials as well, so it will be very, very rough for her to get all the totems up. And a great play from Stone. Delaying that item made that possible on the first rotation. Good start from the Russian.
I will not grant you that privilege.
Yeah, and getting all those time falls, also his own ability got up rather quickly. So he could use that for a trap. And now, yeah, he just gets Retcon in a really tough spot. Seals the deal while waiting for an angle.
And if Retcon plays his cards right, he should be able to get the Mega, and he does. And undamaged that is, which is a huge improvement over the last rotations for Retcon. But it's not been for long because Stone is just, yeah, raining down with the railgun on his opponent. But Retcon has good stack still because he found the light armor and some help. Stone is not letting him be. Orbing in his face and just, yeah, going for some beautiful combinations.
Stone has to concede this one because, yeah, you look at his stack. He had not enough to also go for the Mega Health. But, yeah, both players are not dealing any damage after those pickups. Well, scratch that. The opening comes from Stone. But I do think Retcon has an entry to this heavy. Especially after that string of lightning. And he gets both items and a lot of damage onto Stone. Stone falls.
He rotates in the right way. That was a perfect read. He didn't even wait for a sound cue. He just assumed it, went for it, and it paid off. Denying the lights. Which is on this map, I don't know if it's the best thing you can do, because it has 3 of them, and they are pretty spread out, so it's not going to be easy to control them. Oh, and good play from St0n, using the op to go just right back in the fight, using his stack advantage he just gained from picking up the Mega. But Retc0n really does not want to give up that light, and St0n punishes him for it. He should not have stuck around that much.
Yeah, also using the railgun at the portal. As soon as he has shot his slug, there was so much time for St0n to get damage out, while Retc0n couldn't do anything. And St0n is just adding those frags onto each other. Retc0n is only 1 on the board. While St0n gets his 6th.
Yeah, like 6 frags. On Veil is quite doable because you can force the spawns predictably, but at the pace it's going right now, and Retc0n not being able to land the shots and collect the weaponry he really needs to do harm to his opponent, it's gonna be a tough time, if not impossible, for him to come back. This might be a good situation because St0n is still lacking any armor, but Retc0n doesn't seem to have the timing, so he just sticks around. Totem heals him, so he actually gets some use out of that heavy. But not all too much, because St0n... Well, St0n is evading him and doing a good job at not taking any damage and trying to rotate to spots where he can stack back up.
And he has his orb up and uses it to delete Retc0n.
Perforated.
Yeah, this is a tough job for Retc0n. He's still soldiering on. Yeah, you need to break St0n's control. Or at least try to concede spawning, right? If you survive for at least 1 rotation after he spawns, it will be a win.
St0n is just not stopping, and it's not like Retc0n is not doing any damage, but most of the cases, not on all of them, St0n has just the far better stack, and here it paid out again. They traded kind of equally, but then at some point the smaller pool is empty and the bigger pool automatically wins. And when St0n does not have the bigger pool, he just lands insane rockets.
Yeah, Retc0n is now in control though. And St0n doesn't have his orb up, but yeah, look at he's just escaping every fight. Does some portal play. And Retc0n isn't able to seal the deal. And he has to make a choice between the frag and the item. And he chooses items, but this means St0n is back in a healthy condition. Well, not after the totem, but he's just circling around. And Retc0n isn't able to keep up.
And as well as St0n showing that this map is very great for aggressive play. He just showed the past 1.5 minutes that it's very great for defensive play as well. But now he might be a little bit overextending, stealing the armor away, but still not having the biggest HP stack. But Retc0n lets him get away, and well, St0n's stack looks good as ever. And now he should be having all the weaponry he needs apart from the railgun as well, which he tries to get here and uses the op greatly again, followed by beautiful rockets, and without taking too much damage. I said that before he took the totem.
Yeah, but that was also a signature St0n move, like the orb rocket combo.
Yeah, he uses that very, very well.
But I do think Retc0n is just using this as practice time.
Oh. And there you go.
No, you shoot.
Now he
Stopwatch.
just tries to get some nice frags.
Yeah, Retc0n is just soldiering on. Looking for angles or an into at least another frag.
You've disgraced yourself enough. Stay down this time.
And he tried to steal that armor, but he had a little bit too much. Ah, some seasoning on top of the last frag. There you go. Oh, no, not the last, but the latest. And this is just a domination and a...
Yeah, and you also expect like after every frag an early GG, but Retc0n is just soldiering on.
Death is the only release. I will not grant you that privilege.
He's just preparing for the QPL, right? There are no early GGs in the tournament.
Yeah, let's say it like this. But St0n is making it so hard for him. He's using the geometry of the map very well to avoid all the fights when he can't afford to take them. But he also is using it pretty well when he wants to deal damage and not trying to get damage in return. So he's really, really aware of the angles, the positions. If you want to learn Veil, just... I mean, it's an aggressive Veil that St0n plays mostly, but this game is kind of... could be used as a blueprint for learning Veil. Both land their rails. St0n with some little trickery. Oh, but Retc0n actually has the last word. Oh, okay, St0n is not trying to end the conversation yet. And that's it. And this is St0n in the lead, so one more map for him. And he wins this cup again.
Is this the St0n Cup or what?
Maybe it is.
Yeah,
It's St0n3.
It's huge. Yes, St0n3, yeah.
So, are there 3 generations of St0ns that are connected to this game? Like St0n, St0n Jr., and is
Grandpa St0n? Yeah.
Grandpa St0n? Because we named St0n Papa St0n already.
Well,
But-
it could be St0n Senior, St0n the Second, St0n the Third.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a very interesting matchup, because I am not very convinced that Anarchy is a good pick for Exile against heavy champions.
But
If this would be something like Molten Falls, I would bet on Anarchy 10 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
Sorlag's not that broken anymore.
Yeah, but I had the same with Galena on this map, and yeah, it is still a pretty new map, so maybe St0n has taken Anarchy in fruition in this map. Yeah, we have our answer in 10 minutes, but I do think that Sorlag is a great counter.
Indeed. And I'll let you two guys take this one away.
Thank you.
Prepare to fight.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, we're back at doing this, Rob.
Yeah.
Round begins in
The,
3, 2, 1.
yeah, so Sorlag is like Anarchy but bigger. And as you mentioned that, Retc0n takes that heavy right away, St0n delaying the Mega. Retc0n carefully trying to pick up the railgun, picks it up carefully and vacates the area. Misses it on St0n. St0n trapping the teleport, the TP with some nail gun. Retcon now extremely low, but so is St0n. No player can afford to take a rail at the moment. St0n picking up that heavy now even as overstack.
Yeah, and there is no route to Mega Health for Retcon, so St0n gets both items.
Yeah,
Which is awesome if you're playing a light. But you not only get the items, you also denying them from your heavy opponent.
yeah, but that's always true.
Yeah, I'm Robvious for a reason.
Well, some noobs might be out there, people who don't really understand the game. And we're happy to have them understand it as much as we can help them. But
Yeah.
for now, St0n is the one who's weak.
Yeah, he must have heard the portal, so he has an inkling of the position from St0n.
Oh, that is a fantastic rail. St0n double backing though. Won't steal away the heavy, but that was some nice trickeration. He should die here though, and that was careless movement.
A great punishment on the spawn from Retc0n. Collects the Mega Health after it. Oh, but St0n has the upper position on the heavy. Oh, he doesn't have rockets in his hand. The rocket launcher. So that one goes to Retc0n for free.
Right there. Oh, but Retc0n is hitting everything on Anarchy. And St0n just against the ropes all the time. St0n making an aggressive move doesn't pay off.
Retc0n is just eating up the whole map. The only light that is there is probably at rail. Oh no, I just heard the one at the above portal. So St0n has a lifeline, and especially after those two rail hits.
Yeah, now St0n on a great position to get this heavy.
Falls down.
Retc0n is great position to deal damage, misses almost everything. St0n still with a ton of stack. Oh no, St0n gets dealt a lot of rock damage, has to escape. There goes St0n's lifeline, that is a great rail, and another great rail, and another one through the space in between the floor.
Oh, he does miss a rail.
Ropes. At least Retc0n has his railgun right now, picks up a light armor. Starts to get some of that weaponry that he needs. St0n doing a lot of damage from afar, that was brilliant LG. From Retc0n, just keeping that stack low. Oh, that was scary. Retc0n just fell off the map and St0n with a couple of good rockets. Gets this game within one.
Oh, they both fumbled their movement a bit, but it paid out for St0n.
Here, and St0n moving away from the Mega just as it spawns. Luckily, the map is tidy. Fantastic rocket and rail from St0n, but Retc0n already with the position, but that was fantastic. St0n in perfect position to get this heavy, and that's a fat anarchy. That's also a thick Sorlag right there.
Well, some of it gets removed by the rail of St0n. And there is not really a pathway for Retc0n
5 minute
Mega Health.
warning. Stopwatch. Tank.
So St0n gets both items. And Anarchy in Control is a force to reckon with.
Absolutely, and
Stopwatch.
that's really the motivation to pick him.
Impressive.
Oh, that was a beautiful rail from St0n. Retc0n being railed, well now must be careful. Gets caught in the air and St0n takes the lead. If Retcon wins this map, then it boils down to a best of one on the last map. If St0n wins, St0n wins. Fantastic stuff from St0n at the moment. Oh, almost it's the rail! That rail would have fragged Retcon
Oh,
and
Retcon steals the heavy and another frag. Oh, and he gets the follow-up. He forces the spawn. Where is St0n? St0n spawns at the rocket launcher, but his hits don't connect, and Retcon's rail is paying dividends. But yeah, he's still a little bit weak. If St0n can collect the tools he needs to fight for this heavy, but he can't. He's just waiting on it.
Yeah, a little bit YOLO right there, and Retcon makes him pay.
Oh, the HMG.
Trading damage. That is a great rocket from St0n, forcing Retcon away.
Oh, now Retcon is too early on the item, but he throws up St0n into the air, and as soon as he drops, he connects the follow-up rocket. Adds another frag to his name. But he's 3 in the lead. 3 minutes left. And in control.
Yeah, no, Retcon throwing the long distance rocket. A couple of quick rails. The LG finishes the job. 4 frags in the lead. Oh, St0n just throwing himself around.
Yeah, it's just
Control is amazing. Out of control is amazingly bad.
yeah. You can't survive 2 rails from the spawn.
Yeah, and as much as like the movement being fast around corners is amazing, it's a bit of a double-edged sword, really, because you can get caught in so many ways with that movement.
Oh, but the Retcon needs to retreat and leaves the mega health to St0n. That might be a lifeline.
Yeah, we'll try to make a stand at the heavy.
And trap
moves
doesn't
right
work, but oh, the shotgun! Yeah, it works. Shotgun works.
Yeah. Oh no, St0n a bit low. That LG from St0n, so amazing. 4 frag game with 1 minute 20. Let's see if St0n can do it. This should be another frag. No, it's not. Retcon manages to escape. Time is dwindling down, but Retcon gets caught in the rocket, in the railgun area. Oh no! St0n taking so much time to frag Retcon. Retcon might be able to survive this just on delaying spawns alone.
Oh, he's making sound. So
St0n knows
St0n.
exactly where Retcon is. Oh, misses the rocket! That rocket would have granted him the frag and maybe a possibility. Now I'd say it's too late. 20 seconds for 3 frags is too much for anyone. But we
Damage
shall
out
see.
it. From
Retcon is
St0n.
still playing that spawn as much as he can. Oh, and Retcon takes this one, so it all boils down to the last map. Such a tight series.
Oh, but the string of frags and damage St0n was doing in the last 2 minutes was insane.
Yeah, if the game was 11 minutes long, St0n would have done it.
Yeah.
Just the 10.
So it all boils down to Corrupted Keep, where Retc0n is on Visor and St0n is on Skillbaba.
So,
Yeah, what were your thoughts on this one, Lycor?
it's gonna be tough. The scale's definitely quicker around the corners, but the visor could be used very well to avoid any close proximity to which is to use the bull rush for St0n, which is definitely something that Retc0n needs to look out for, because otherwise I gotta give it to the scale bearer.
Yeah, but that information, the higher the level, the more dangerous it is.
Yeah, I'd argue so as well.
Yeah, visor in the hands of a noob is nothing. These guys, these guys are putting up a great show, and it all boils down to the last map.
And somehow I also think that on CK, Scalebearer is beatable. Because if you take real
Definitely is.
out of the equation, you don't trap yourself while reloading your railgun, right? That's always the moment that you miss your shot, and then Scalebearer just rushes into your face. Here, on this map, you don't have the railgun, so the choice is always, or you always have a weapon in the hand that can do consistent damage. And Skillbearer is a heavy, so you can hit him quite hard.
Yeah, the HMG should be playing a very vital part in this particular map for Retc0n. Just using the range and the open fields to do as much damage on over the distance as possible. That as soon as St0n has a possibility to use his bull rush, it will be most likely too late. So yeah, we'll see how it plays out. I mean, you could also use the piercing sight to just chain frags together and avoid the any misreads after spawn forcing, and even keep the window open longer after the respawn of your opponent to get the frag. There are a lot of ways you could use it.
True, and I also think it's a great survival tool on the first spawn, because if you play a heavy and you get the heavy armor, then you can bully yourself into the first frag. But Retc0n has vision, so he will know which pathway St0n will take if he does that play. So yeah, I think that is a lifeline for at least the first 30 seconds.
Yeah, I think that you really want to cycle the hourglasses in this matchup as well. So they might have even been a bit higher importance than some of the light.
Hourglasses would be a bit of a play, to be honest. Alright, you guys take this one away. I will lurk in the shadows.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. So it will be the last map anyway of this evening, but it's great to see Retc0n besides St0n in the final.
Mixing the lineup up for once.
True, yeah. Now we really have to think about our predictions next time. There are no default wins anymore.
Yeah, and
this also says a lot to the Challengers playoffs, right? Which is in 2 weeks.
Indeed. So, yeah.
Or no, it's next week. By the way, we have the last Saturday tomorrow, and then
Yeah.
Saturday next week we have the playoffs.
And yeah, and basically this Saturday the last spots for the final will be
Prepare to fight.
played out, and then the players play for their spot in a relegation match for the Pro
Round
League.
begins in 3, 2.
Okay, let's take this one away. St0n actually gets probably the best spawn if you're a scale bearer, because you have all the close range weapon right at your hand, and he uses it expertly, but he takes a lot of damage. Still, Retc0n should be knowing from this move of St0n that the light is up, and he goes there, but he gets trapped and survives with just 1 HP. St0n should be hunting him down here. With that stack and the speed he has, he just needs to make him pay quickly. Oh, but Retc0n uses his position very, very well. He's not taking any chance of St0n actually getting an angle on him.
Wow.
And look at the damage he did. He just turned it around completely.
Oh, and they're both using the blow dryer. Retc0n has a more modern one. But, yeah, St0n takes position onto the heavy. And also releases a great rocket onto Retc0n, who just is in a world of hurt now. But the movement from St0n isn't that grand. So he retreats to the mega health, but look at the stack difference. St0n is high on life, and Retc0n is in a world of pain.
Yeah, and the fact that this map has no rail, Retc0n can't hold any angles. He really needs to,
Leave tide.
yeah, to power his way in, and he does get a bit of damage, but the heavy was just there. So it almost got negated completely, but the lightning gun is great, and the thick boy gets fried. And now he has the major item to fall back on.
Yeah, and I also think
You can't rush bounce pads.
yeah, I also think that the movement of Visor is really advantageous in an LG fight, because he can just dodge so quick, step away from that lightning beam from your enemy.
Yeah, the advanced strafe speed of that guy is definitely something that should help in these fights. And Scale, who builds up acceleration, or speed rather, and accelerates faster if he keeps continuing to move in one direction, has something similar, but he's just a little bit slower in the acceleration, being that he's a heavy. But this time, he makes it work, and using the bull rush there actually spared him a good bit of damage as well. But this rocket denies the heavy completely, but Retc0n really wants to make...
He's
St0n pay for
so
showing up.
fast with Visor. How can he be at mega health in an instant while he was just at the heavy? I think his rocket, the rockets from St0n launched him into that speed, but oh, St0n suicides does leave Retc0n really low.
He had to get that frag 10 out of 10 times. It would have been a huge blunder for St0n to miss that. Oh, and the passive actually deals some nice damage, but yeah, Retc0n wanted to take the item, but he couldn't, and going up that bounce pad just, yeah, well, kept him at arm's length of the Shambler, and the Shambler just completely annihilated him there. Ripped him apart, electrified him, but Retc0n really tries to pull it back, and a direct rocket to clutch it out after a barrage of St0n. And we'll fight. Good dodge of Retc0n, and Retc0n dishes out some damage, but St0n has the armor. And St0n will have the mega as well, and St0n catches Retc0n, and Retc0n is... yeah, that beautiful rocket. Good angle on the latch.
Yeah, the Sandal man is so strong. It's spiraling a bit out of control. But, oh, Retc0n does steal the heavy. He still needs some poverty health items. He's able to get it. Now let's see if he can do some extra damage on the mega health that St0n just received. Oh, he doesn't have lightning gun.
That was closer than it needed to be, but St0n not having any rockets was forced back to the shotgun there, and he could not make it work, but he got the item and got some damage in return for it, but not too much, and the Mega is still not there for the next few seconds. And that was a huge overextension from Retc0n, who mistimed the item, I suppose. And good use of the stack advantage and yeah, the ability there, just knowing where his opponent is going to spawn, but Retc0n somehow surviving it and turns it around. Beating St0n with kind of his own weapons, be it the rockets.
And he has a great opening for the heavy again. Leaves St0n rather weak, so he can't contest for the Mega Elf. Oh, he even finishes the deal before anyone can take it. So Retc0n is overstacked on both items. Oh, some gets removed though by that great rocket from St0n, who uses the ability to get into the next frag. Heavy's 5 seconds away, but Retc0n is there to do some damage. Oh, and actually escapes.
Oh, Retc0n tries to trap his opponent and it works out this time. High risk, high reward play. He had not much stack to actually do this because not only he was lacking HP, he had less armor than St0n as well, but he made it work, bouncing the big man around like a ping pong ball. And now we'll meet them at a fight in the heavy again, and St0n takes it and denies all the damage that the LG would have done with the bull rush. Good use of the ability, and Retc0n not respecting it at all. 5 HP for the Russian, and the Mega just in time survived just as he picked it up. And now it's a 2-frag game.
And he used his ability, Retc0n, just before he dies, so he doesn't have that for another 30 seconds. Which is a great tool to enter or escape fights. Yeah, he just walks into the rockets. Looking for a Hail Mary. But he doesn't find it.
The ability again to force his way into the item, takes it away, but being that he used it to get there, he does not have it to protect him afterwards, and Retc0n makes him pay for that this time. Albeit he had to pay a lot himself, and now he can't really afford to stay around. The rocket misses, and the next one as well, and despite landing a direct in between, it just wasn't enough to keep the big man out of the proximity. It was a do or die play that Retc0n set up there. Oh, he gets the item again. Retc0n is nothing going in his favor right now. He gets this frag at least. The big man gets this armor as well. But the lightning gun is impeccable, and it's a 1-frag game. Retc0n pulled it all the way back.
Yeah, he does not have enough stack to do anything at this heavy, but well, at least he doesn't die this time. So he's conceding a bit. Both items go to St0n though. So Retc0n has to do a lot of work. And he really wants some ore. Oh, he did get the light, but everything is removed. And St0n just takes the damage to deny the other light.
Also, Retc0n is slowly but surely running out of ammunition for the rockets as well as the lightning gun. Now boxes in rooms that he could reach to pick those up. He does a little bit with the rockets. Oh, and at this point, St0n is just playing the lights, and the pain train just does not stop for Retc0n there. And he forces the spawn as well. Good job. And now it's a 3-frag game with 1 minute left. After just picking up the heavy, I'm not seeing how Retc0n is able to pull this back. Oh, but Retc0n's lightning gun is actually pretty good because St0n has none anymore, but St0n has again the item. And if you just take a look at the pickups, St0n is dominating those, and that just gives him a lot easier, game basically. I mean, Retc0n has 5,000 damage alone with rockets and lightning gun, but it's not enough because he does not have the items. He is outpicked in every single item. St0n has been controlling this basically from start to finish. Oh, 2 HP. This is unfortunate now.
Yeah, and he also has the starter stack to just compete
Killing spree.
for items, even if they're after he dies. So I do think it's great showing from Retc0n, but yeah, Skillbearer is just such a strong champion on this one.
Yeah, but I mean, he got all the items he needed. Retc0n never was in a position to pick him up and always looked to do damage rather than take the pickup away. And I don't think that's a playstyle you should be going for if you're up against someone who gets that tanky. Like, against the Keeler it can work, but I'm not sure if it's going to work against any other heavy.
Still, it's a great performance from Retc0n, and then he can hold his chin up high.
Yeah, sure. It's his greatest showing yet, I think.